Hello there, Lynx here. Welcome to more of Katawa Shoujo, of course. I think today this is the only game I'll be recording. Yes. Because technically we've finished Sakura Succubus 4. At one thing, I don't want to start another game at the same time. Second thing, I don't want to start another game at the same time. There is literally the only reason. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? Finally reaching the classroom after the usual walk from the dormitories, I step inside. My eyes immediately turn to the third seat from the left in the back row. Hanako's seat. Was it really a third one? Now I have to check. I have to. I just have to. I think it was for extras, gallery, boop. Yo, it's actually third one from the entrance and third one from the front of the classroom. That's crazy. Now we can go back. Wait. Third seat from the left. I mean, it is from the door, yes. I don't know if we looked from the other left. Because it depends how we are looking at the class. Anyway, whatever. Let's say they are saying the truth. It's empty, and after glancing around the classroom, it looks like she isn't here yet. The two girls from the newspaper club are here in the two seats to the left of Hanako's. Now I need to check. Who are the girls from the newspaper club? Extras, gallery, here. The glasses girl and the blonde girl. I don't know them. We know Mikifo. Asar, Shizune, and Misha, but that's... Oh no, please, no. But that's about it. We exchange more degrees before I take my seat. I have to admit that this is a bit of a relief. This gives me at least a few more minutes to think. Not that I haven't been doing so previously, ever since our trip to the town. Hanako's been on my mind. Well, yeah. I still know what to make of my relationship with her. I like her. I can admit that much to myself. I want to protect and shield her from the pain she feels. I really don't think my feelings are just those of friendship anymore. Yeah? But that said, I feel like I don't even know her. Okay, that's kinda a normal feeling, I would say. You might get to know someone, but you still might feel like, but do I know that person? Right? Anyway, if I made a move on her, how would she take it? Is she in an emotional state that allows her to make a reasonable decision about the relationship? How would she cope with anything that might happen afterwards? What do you mean? There is also the possibility that I'm just completely misinterpreting Hanako. Not a difficult thing to do with someone whose social skills seem to be so underdeveloped. Someone's walking. The sound of footsteps comes up to the door, making me perk up. Ooh. It ends up just being Miki. She barely acknowledges my existence when I accidentally make contact with her. I'm about to look away, but another person comes in not long after she takes her seat. I feel myself freeze as I see Hanako enter. This isn't a rational reaction, but I have no idea about how I should act, or what I should say to her. For a moment, our eyes meet. And then, just as quickly, she looks away and moves to her seat without saying a single word. She also did not acknowledge actually your existence. Oh my god. As is now usual for the period following classes, my face is buried deep in a book that I find thoroughly uninteresting. Studying is not something that comes naturally to me. I didn't study a lot before coming to Yamaku, and until now I've largely managed to coast through on talent alone. It's frustrating that I can't do that anymore. Judging by the faces of the other few students in the library, I don't think I'm alone in my distaste for this. Misery loves company, I suppose. I decided to spend lunchtime with Hanako, since we haven't had lunch together for a while now. I may as well have spent the time studying for. Aside from pathetically small snippets of small talk, there was barely a word said between us. Between the two of us. Why does she keep doing this to me? I just want to protect her. To be there for her. But every time I feel like we're coming closer, we end up further away. I so understand you. You say you want to protect her and such, but come on. You just want to be with her at the same time, right? Hisao, I understand you. Are you busy? Hanako! Oh my god. My head whips around in surprise, causing her to retreat in a fright. That was bad timing. If I hadn't been thinking about her at the very moment, I probably wouldn't have been nearly so startled. Sorry. You just startled me. I find myself staring at her longer than I should, so I go back to the text lying on the table in front of me. I feel more like I'm just staring at the words rather than actually reading. I get the feeling that Hanako can notice this as well, so I sigh and close the book. I don't have that book here, okay? What's up? I was just wondering, what were you reading? She looks a little downcast after a reaction to seeing her. Giving up on the prospect of getting more work done, I get up and return the book to its place on a nearby shelf. Just an English textbook. Wow, what an interesting lecture. Anyway. Has it helped? It helped me realize that I don't like English, yeah? Like, one of not many subjects that I enjoyed. Hanako gives, as long as the teacher didn't get involved. Hanako gives a small giggle. I may muse on the strange state of our friendship, but I do know that such little... Fuck. Sorry. Something just dropped into my eye. But I do know that such little gestures are things that I wouldn't see were I not at least some distance closer to her than when we first met. That's true. I looked at her for a moment, thinking about what I do and don't know about her. It's a slightly depressing topic. You know, she's 18. She can get a driver's license. Except we don't know if she will try. She likes books, she likes chess, she likes Lily, she likes, I guess, tea, she likes spending time with the two of you, she likes computers, or more like she knows how they operate on a higher level than average, I guess. But I don't know, wait, this Hisao might not know that yet. But she mentioned about PCs already, so maybe he does know. Okay. And technically we do know about the fire that happened and the fact that she lived in an orphanage, and well, given that we can connect the dots that her parents are gone, that's a pretty touchy subject, to be fair, but we know that. I wouldn't say he doesn't know much. I don't exactly know what exactly he wants to know, but I would say we know quite a bit already, right? Plus, you know, she's not good in crowds, I guess. I feel like she's the type of person that prefers to talk like one-on-one, maybe two-on-one, not large freaking groups, right? That's kind of similar to me. I don't like groups as well, even if I've never had like problems with presentations and such. Anyway, is something wrong? If I want to know more about her, maybe I should stop being so evasive about it. I'm so worried about what he wants to ask. Talking with Lily is an equal rather than being constantly in fear of causing her to become upset worked fine. So I should just try a straightforward approach with Hanako as well. Hey Hanako, do you mind if I ask you a question? You just did! I don't mind. I would like to know what your life was like before coming to Yamaku. She hesitates. I briefly consider backing off, but she seems to be taking the question quite seriously. You should have done if you are okay with it. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to. The topic can wait until you're ready. Anyway, I sit and watch her, silently letting her take her time. She's not making the eye contact with me and looks almost as if she's arguing herself into letting herself open up to me more. Her answer finally comes in stiff, almost reluctant note. She looks far more tense than she did before I'd asked. Okay, but in return, you have to tell me about your life as well. Okay. Equivalent exchange? I nod and follow her as she begins to walk out the library so we can talk. By now, most of the students have already left the main building. Also, we know about the fact that the freaking stupid kids bullied her. We still didn't get the list of names for, which is slightly frustrating. Anyway. So the students left the building, so apart from a few people hovering around the club rooms, the hallways are largely empty. I guess we'll start with coming to Yamaku. Let's see. I was in the hospital when my parents first told me about the Yamaku Academy. The doctors told me I shouldn't go to my old school anymore, and parents agreed and persuaded me to apply for Yamaku, even though it would mean living away from them for the first time. It must have been hard for you. Well, yeah, I have to admit that it was. My parents were both work long hours and full time, so having to live reasonably independently wasn't anything new to me. It was the fact that I was going to school for disabled students that hit the hardest, I think. And you. A small group of chatting girls passes as we near the stairs, with Hanako pressing herself tightly to my side until we reach the ground floor. She doesn't usually come this close while just walking to school, so I'm left a little put off. The staff at the orphanage offered me some options on what I could do. Middle school hadn't been good, so I thought that Yamaku might be better. It was so isolated, and I thought it might be easier to get it by here, with most of the others being disabled. Makes sense. It's pretty ironic that the reasons Hanako looked forward to Yamaku are the exact reasons I hated the idea. To me, it felt like I was being shunted somewhere away from society and everyone I knew. To Hanako, that was probably an inviting prospect. But eventually you came around, right? And you understand how your thinking was wrong. Anyway, what was life like at the orphanage? It was okay. The staff there were nice and they took care of us. The children there didn't talk to me much, but I didn't really want to talk with them either, so I didn't mind. The orphanage had a little library, so I started to read to pass the time. The staff didn't mind it because it made me easier to handle than many of the children. You didn't make any friends there? No, I think my life was on hold during that time. I knew that, but I didn't mind. To think her life was on hold for all the time though. Depending on when the fire happened, that was a huge chunk of her life. No parents, no friends, apparently no relatives. Wait. Whoa. Nasty. That's even tougher. We walked through the door into the courtyard. I expect no need to avert my eyes from the sun, but by now it's well into sunset. Hanako's eyes keep flicking to me, so I look away from her for a bit. What was it like in the hospital? I quickly my thoughts and try to refocus them. I hesitate for a bit, but I know that I have to tell her. I have to. We're close enough for her to feel comfortable telling me this, so it's only fair that I reciprocate. It was okay at times, but at others it was pretty bad. At the beginning, everyone sent their sympathies and came to visit often. It was just like breaking an arm or something. Meeting all my friends was one of the good times. Yamaku came in often as well, more often than anyone else. But there were bad times too. When my friends slowly stopped visiting, I began to realize how grave my situation was. It reminded me that this wasn't just a broken limb, but that I was now a different person than before. Even the times Hanako would spend with me became torturous. By the end, we were reduced to silence, whereas before she'd be talking constantly. But that's how Hanako always was. She may have been a fragile person, but she would talk constantly to try and hide the fact. Not about anything in particular, just talk. I think the three lowest points. I kinda skipped a few words for some reason. Anyway, I think the three lowest points would have been when my parents told me I wouldn't be going to my old school anymore, my birthday passing while in the hospital, and when Hanako left for the last time. Still, they weren't even together. God damn it. Unless we are not told something. Did they actually, go out together? Even though it was only her confessing to him and then the same time he having a heart attack? Like, should I assume that they actually were a couple for some time? I don't know. To me, it wasn't a relationship, to be fair. Anyway, we leave the school building behind us as we begin to follow the main path through the gardens. There may have been the old bystander in the school buildings, but outside we're practically alone. In before Kenji drops in. Or Shizune and Misha. What was your middle school like? Actually, the best time for me. I liked it. I grew up in a metropolitan area. I didn't. And the middle school was nearby, so it was pretty crowded. Yeah, it was the closest to me yeah. Even though it wasn't in the city. I didn't mind it, probably because I'm used to being in crowds and around lots of other people. I got good grades, and I played soccer with my friends. I spent a fair bit of time hanging out with them after school as well. Did get teased a bit over my hair though. Your hair? I grimaced as I put a hand over my hair to cover it. I'd keep getting tufts and strands that refused to flatten or stay where I wanted them, and my mother wouldn't let me just get my hair shaved. It had a habit of popping out no matter how much I tried to brush it down. That's not something to complain about. It still does a little. I was worried I'd get that reply. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I give a mild laugh and wave it off. It's fine, I know it still does. It feels strange to have someone act so interested in my past. If it were anyone else, I'd think they were just acting polite, but that's something I really don't think Hanako would do. Or if she did, she'd do it so badly, it would be obvious. God damn it. There are a number of girls in the common room on the ground floor, and Hanako presses herself to my side once more as we pass them. I expect her to break off, but instead she continues to cling onto me as we walk towards the stairway. Something about the way she's holding on me feels different from usual. I'm left deep in thought as we walk up the stairs and down the hallway. It's only when we stop that I look up and realize that I've been following her without question. Why did you come to your dormitory room? She looks straight at the door, without so much as a glance in my direction. Hanako? She moves to answer, but stops herself. Is it the cutout part of the video part? Instead, she suddenly wakes from my side, opens her room and... opens her door, not the... Well, technically... Opens her room's entrance and steps inside. I look up and down the hallway, a bit lost as to exactly what I should do. Shrugging, I decide to follow her since I don't have any reason to do otherwise. Hanako stands in the living room and looks straight at me. It's unnerving when she does this, as it's such an unusual action for her. I open my mouth to speak, but she preempts me. Could you close and lock the door? Hanako's hand reaches for the chest, grabbing her blouse at her heart. I turn and lock the door shut, then freeze. The atmosphere is beginning to feel quite strange. This feeling is only made me more profound when I hear the curtains being pulled behind me. It's going to be night soon. We're a guy and a girl in a bedroom. She's closing the curtains, and I'm shutting and locking the door. She can't really have that in mind, can she? I gulp and turn around, very, very slowly. Hanako is in the center of the room, but hasn't turned back to face me. You told me about your past, so I have to tell you mine. She takes a deep, shuddering breath and pauses for a number of seconds. Her hands move to her ribbon and begin to tuck, all but confirming my thoughts. Chotomate. I kind of realize what you're trying to do. There is no need to go that far. Hanako? Please, don't say anything. I obediently stay hushed. As she slips off her ribbon, it continues to unbutton her blouse before working the clip. We are going that far? The clip on her bra. The process is slow. Perhaps it just feels slow because of what she's doing. I'm not sure. Frozen to the spot, all I can do is watch as Hanako, hands trembling, unclips the skirt and lets it drop to the ground. So it truly is like, I guess, entire half of the body. Damn. Finally, she takes her blouse in her hands and draws it off, her bra falling from her shoulders, and so Hanako stands in the middle of the room, all but bare, save for her stockings and underwear. This is me. All of me. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scarring on her back. The skin on her right side is of a similar texture to that of her face, but it's also stretched, taut, and covering a much larger area. The scarring is by far the worst on the shoulder, buttock, and thigh. Just as my heart attacked, redefined, god damn it, Lynx, my life. This is the event that redefined Hanako's. Yeah. If I'd seen this when I first met her, I'd have been shocked. Not only the sight, but also the idea that something like this was survivable. But her having had time to get used to the idea. And after seeing these scars on her face, hands, and the collar, my reaction is more measured. My reaction right now is not due to her scaring, but to her body? The fire happened when I was 8 years old. It was night and we were sleeping when it started. Damn. Hanako's voice trembles, the shaking of her blouse giving away the fact that her hands are doing just the same. I curled up into a ball when the fire swept over me. My mother tried to shield me. That's the only reason I left. Oh shit. So it... I mean... I guess I was connecting the dots correctly in the end. Hanako's eyes begin to moisten, her voice cracking under the combined pressure of exposing herself to me like this and reliving those painful memories from so long ago. I want to say something, anything to make her feel better, but I can't. I feel completely useless when faced with a situation like this. She's forcing herself to come close So close, yet it's at times like this that I feel most distant to her. I'm sorry for making you say this. There's no point in denying the obvious. I think what I should say now, and what Hanako wants me to say now, is the truth. What I genuinely, honestly believe. It doesn't matter. You're a wonderful person, Hanako. Your body doesn't change that. She looked at me for a long time, her breathing uneven as she tries to remain steady. Amidst the emotions we're both feeling, it feels less like she's looking at me than she's looking through me. I slowly walk towards her and gently place my hands on her shoulders as she lets go of her blouse. She gasps a little, not in fright but in simple startlement. Being so close to her causes my mind to become a jumble of feelings, a scaring on her shoulder, plain to see and leather-like to the touch, conflict strangely with her otherwise soft skin and silky dark hair. Hanako girl with all that entails. She's taller than usual for a woman, but still has curves in all the right places. The nape of her neck, just visible thanks to her hair slung over her shoulder, is alluring. I know that I'm not pretty. Yes, you are! Like Lily, what are you talking about? I just wanted you to see me, the real me. I've already seen the real UFO. You need to take off your clothes for that. Yeah, actually, the scarring is just like on her side of her hand and on the back. The front is not touched by the fire apparently. Which I guess makes sense because she was curled up in a ball. As she said so. Yeah, anyway. Her lips are open, just a little. She lets out a sharp breath as, without thinking, I breathlessly lean forwards and press my lips to hers. That kiss only lasts for a fleeting moment before our faces part. Our breathing quick and nervous. The feeling of Hanako's mouth lingers and her eyes remain locked to mine. Ladies and gentlemen, it's back! The heart! Except, the workout has been finished. My vision slowly begins to return to normal as I continue to stare at the ceiling, but my limbs still feel like jelly. I try to concentrate my chest and find its beat irregular and mildly painful. It's a dangerous time. I have to think this through and not panic, lest I make my situation even worse. With a huge effort, I control my erratic breathing, force myself to make long, deep breaths. I count half a dozen before I start to feel physically calm again and press my hand to my chest to assure myself. My heart beats back to normal. I'm okay. I turn my face towards Hanako, who's already looking at me. Her expression looks pretty dazed, but underneath that, there is definitely a look of concern. She's realized what happened. I'm okay. Everything is back to normal. There's nothing to worry about. Probably. I find myself barely able to get the words out between breaths. I don't think those activities would tire normal body out this much, so I have no doubt my condition. Yeah, they wouldn't. So I have no doubt my condition is at least partially at fault. Why did my body have to do this right now? All thoughts of my heartful are pushed aside as I see the white smile forming on Hanako's face. As always, I smile back without any other thoughts. Hanako's smile has always been infectious in its almost childlike sweetness and earnesty, something that sets her apart from anyone else I know. Right now, we don't need words. Everything we want to communicate to each other, we can share just fine without them. That's true. That's true. Ah, Hanako. She is so lovely. Welcome to his room now. My eyes feel heavy as they slowly. Give me a second. It's good. There is something I need to check. Okay, I mean, let's go. My eyes feel heavy as they slowly open. Very slowly. The light from the outside makes me blink a bit to let the equipment adjust it. My body feels like lead and my head feels just as heavy. Waking up to an unfamiliar ceiling is an uncomfortable feeling. Oh yeah, you are not in your room, that's true. Why did I say he's in his own room for? Okay. Waking up to an unfamiliar ceiling is an uncomfortable feeling. It reminds me of the first time I woke to the dimpled white tile ceiling of the hospital. It's only after a few seconds staring up at it that I realize where I am. This is Hanako's dormitory room. I feel as though my heart stopped again as the events of the last night rushed through my head, blood rushes my cheeks, and I shut my eyes once more. I mean, yeah, we learned a lot about Hanako's past. I've lost the competition. God damn it, I was in the first place for so long, and they rushed in the last moment while I was not around. Damn! It's fine. It's fine. Today we are getting the level over here higher. It's fine. Why am I even talking about this right now? Never mind. Anyway, there is very little point to getting myself worked up this early fall, so I try to push such things out of my mind for now. I roll my head to the side to see if Hanako's where she was when I drifted off to sleep. All that's there now is an empty space on the bed and the room beyond. I sluggishly sit up and rub my eyes, before pinching the bridge of my nose and looking around the room. The only person here is me. I'm still bereft of my clothes, and after a quick scan of the floor for them, I notice that they are neatly folded in a corner of the room. Trust my might, I can't see Hanako's anywhere. The foil pocket has been removed too, presumably put into the bin. With a great yawn, I get myself out of bed and quickly look for some underwear. I grab myself at the prospect of putting my boxers back on after yesterday's effort did a job on them, but I don't have much choice. Taking advantage of the fact that you can always go commando. Taking advantage of the fact that I have some time without anyone around, I get myself dressed for the coming school day in short order. And then I'm alone. Without anything more to busy myself with, my mind becomes focused on the fact that I'm standing in another person's bedroom after we spend the night together talking about our pasts, but there is not a single sign of her around. My gut proves to be more helpful than my brain at working out this riddle. With a loud growl, it reminds me that she may well just be getting breakfast. Or shower. Because let's remember, showers are not in their rooms, in dormitories there. I would have liked to, at least in the men's part, we don't know about the female one. I would have liked to wake up next to her, but maybe it's a good thing that I have a few moments alone. Is it though? Hanako's room, as always, is quite bleak in appearance. There are precious few decorations and practically no personal artifacts that aren't hidden away in the cupboards and drawers. She's lived here for 3 years, but the room looks as if it's barely been occupied for a single day. I shouldn't overthink this, I shouldn't! She might just like living this way, as some do. Having the ability to... sure. I mean, what's the point of having unnecessarily huge amounts of stuff that you actually don't use, for example, right? That's my approach, at least. Kind of. Having the ability to put such low stock in physical possessions does have its advantages, but even so, it feels a little disconcerting given her past. She said she viewed herself as having had her life on hold while at the orphanage. She certainly lives as if she still does, but after what happened last night, it's pretty hard to imagine that she still thinks that way. I mean, we talked about the past a lot, yeah. The sound of the door handle cracks through my thoughts, and I turn to face it. Sure enough, Hanako comes through and shuts the door behind her. She has what seems to be two microwave instant meals in her hands, so this is a little difficult. Good morning, Hanako. Morning. She gives a little bow before making her way to the desk. Setting down both plates, I can now see them to be small satay dishes. Their contents... What the hell is satay dishes? I have no freaking idea. Satay dishes. Satay. Okay, I still don't know. Show me. Oh. Something Malaysian / Indonesian. Okay. Cool. She gives a little bow before... Okay, she gives a little bow before making her way to the desk, setting down both plates. I can now see they are to be small satay dishes, their contents steaming with a fork stuck inside the rice of each. I give fork, not chopsticks. I give thanks to her for bringing them in, and we each take one and get down to eating. She sits on her desk chair while I'll sit on the side of the bed. I don't like talking while eating. Yeah. So the silence between us isn't annoying in and of itself. It's the fact that it only exists because we don't quite know what to say to each other that's off-putting. Hanako glances towards me every so often as she eats. I'll notice her doing so because I'm doing just the same thing. We're eating together as if we were a couple. Well, yeah. Something feels wrong though. Maybe that's why. We can't say even a word to each other as we finish our plates and leave them in the sink. Maybe that's why we leave Hanako's room without holding hands or making small talk. What? Maybe that's why it feels as if we're further apart than we've ever been before. What? We entered the classroom together, neither of us so much as glancing at each other. Just after we do so, I realized that this may have been a mistake. What? Shizune lifts her eyebrow at the side, her suspicions raised. Don't even dare approach us. We reach the center aisle between the classroom's desks and look at each other. I'm not quite sure what I should say. Does she want me to address her as a girlfriend? I didn't think our relationship was... Ah, that's why this feels so strange. See you. Okay. I awkwardly hold up a hand as we part and take our seats at our respective desks. I can't even look back to her out of embarrassment. I feel like the gulf between Hanako and me is because of me. Stay away! Shouldn't begins to make her way towards me. No! But then Muto enters the room. Thank you! I'm thankful for his arrival being so well timed, drawing Shizune her questioning way to wait for another time, hopefully never. I wouldn't have been able to answer her anyway, and I wouldn't plan to do that. I like Hanako, but I've never told her what my feelings for her are. Hanako never said she saw me as anything beyond a friend either, despite that we slept together. The bell to sign the beginning of the lunch rings out. Muto is taken a little off guard. His chemistry lecture being cut off mid-sentence, much to his chagrin. For the entirety of the class, his rambling has passed through one ear and out the other as my mind pulls over the question of Hanako. I can't get her off my mind, and by now, I've managed to weed myself up about it. I realized that she never said yes to what we did. She didn't say no either, but would she have been able to? She's extremely submissive at the best of times, and no doubt it took her a gargantuan effort to show me her caring. I decided to try and at least make conversation with her. That would be better than... He's probably overthinking, but yeah. That would be better than monosyllabic communication. That's been the most we've managed between each other so far today. I walk to her desk, intending to chat, but she awkwardly blushes and looks down even before I've come up to her. I give a brief to speak, but find myself lost for words. What in the world should I say to her? No, not them again! Hearing approaching footsteps, I turn to see Shizune and Misha already making their way towards us. Oh, no doubt they intend to start asking troublesome things. Ugh. A couple of other classmates are looking at us and gossiping between themselves as they throw silent glances. They must also have noticed Hanako and me coming together earlier. I open my mouth to reassure Hanako, but she preempts me. I've got to go do something! Meow. She gets out of her chair and dashes for the door. Yeah, thanks, you bastards! And dashes for the door. A couple of books and pens that were on her desk are sent falling to the floor in her rush. Not many people seem to care about this event. If you look around to see what all the fuss is about, but go back to what they were previously doing soon after. I'm left despairingly looking at the door that Hanako disappeared out of. The idea of running after her passes through my mind. Yeah, but I'm fairly sure that Hanako can run faster than I can. Yeah. Or she can run without having a heart attack. And besides, what should I say to her once I caught up anyway? Hanako, would you go out with me? Eventually I simply crouched down and began picking up the items that had fallen to the ground from her desk. I feel low in every way, reduced to this as the students passed me by, same thing actually, on their way out of the room. Oh. I feel a tap on my shoulder I look up to see Shoujo and Misha looking at me. I feel disgusted. Curiosity about the situation written on their faces. Well, you can show that curiosity up here, you know what, because I'm not going to tell anything. Mixed with a slightly apologetic look at the idea that they were partially responsible for what just happened. Yeah, I mean, you were. Not gonna lie. I would say 70% is on them. Hey Jan, if we can help at all... Go away, to be honest. Just go away. I just shake my head. This is a matter for them, and from Shoujo's expression and the tone of his voice, I think they know the same thing. Shizune acknowledges my response and gives a solemn bow before making her way out of the room. Yes! Misha soon follows her out, obediently following her role as Shizune's shadow. I pick myself up, books and pens in hand, and place them inside Hanako's desk. With the classroom now empty, I end up just leaning against her desk and thinking to myself in silence. It feels like there's a complete emotional disconnect between Hanako and me. We haven't known each other for all that long, and despite wanting to start going out with her, I really don't know that much about how Hanako views things. I've been studying as hard as I can for the exams, but I still don't feel like I have any real sense of direction behind it. I try to be a friend to Hanako, even if I couldn't tell her my feelings, and all we've done is drive each other apart. I couldn't even write a letter back to the one girl who ever loved me, Iwanaka. What should I do? What can I do? I simply don't know the answer to either of those questions. I do know that nobody else can help me with them. Just going back to the way things were would be enough to make me happy. But I know that it can never happen. Something changed between us last night. Maybe it changed beforehand and it just came to a head then. I know that there's a wall that Hanako has between me and her. I've been hitting that wall every time I try to interact with her on any level. But now, I'm beginning to think that I have my own wall between us just as much as she does. She had to practically drag my past out of me. And mine was much less traumatic than hers. That's very much true. I want to say it's because I haven't had long to adjust since my heart attack, but I know full well that it would just be an excuse. The one time I can recall when it really felt like she was opening up to me of her own accord. When we were playing billiards in the city, I was the one who stopped her from going further. I want to know Hanako better. I want to save the friendship, if not begin a real relationship with her. Yeah. My mind begins to tick as I sit against the desk, thinking to myself in the empty classroom that we spent so much time together. I have to talk to Hanako. I have to. I pace around in the park, feeling of anxiety rolling over me. Every so often I reach into my pocket to take out my phone, but each and every time I hesitate and end up slipping it back in. I know the feeling. If this were any normal situation, I wouldn't be cutting classes. Unfortunately it isn't, and so I find myself in the town below the school at 2 in the afternoon. Ever since I met Hanako, I've been the one to initiate everything between the two of us. That's true. I mean, that's her personality as well, so yeah. But give it a time, and she will do the same eventually, I'm sure. The one that started the conversation went to her wherever she was and suggested what we should do. Today, this once, I don't want to be the only one doing that. My hand dives to my pocket once more. This time I quickly navigate to the texting menu before I have a chance to change my mind again. The worst part is when you send it and you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that actually. Anyway, Hanako, if you want to talk, I'll be at the park in town for a while. Finding a last measure of doubt, I type in my message to Hanako and press the button to send it. And now I wait. My part in this has been fulfilled. What needs to happen now is for Hanako to make the decision. It would be meaningless for me to drag her here. She needs to decide for herself whether she wants to meet me. The apple juice from the vending machine tastes awfully bitter as I swill it down. My grip on the can has caused it to dent slightly in the middle. I should be distant, but it's probably inevitable. Hanako is dear to me. What happened in the last couple of days has put a lot of pressure on both of us. The idea of losing all the progress we've made in coming closer to one another and losing our friendship as a whole is deeply unsettling. But even then, I still don't really know how close we are. We may have been close, very close to each other, but before that all I knew us to be was friends. Maybe we are more than that, but if so, I never realized it. Maybe that's why I feel so uneasy right now. I don't understand Hanako. Despite all the time we spent together, the minutes are ticking by and I still have no idea whether she'll show up. Hisao. I pause for a moment, almost not the time hearing her voice I'm hearing. I drop the can and stand up with a start. Hanako. We look at each other for a few seconds, before Hanako becomes too embarrassed to maintain eye contact and begins to nervously fiddle with the roughly cut lock of her hair covering the side of her face. When I went to see Hanako in her room by herself after her breakdown, I had no idea what to say. That was fine then. All either of us wanted was each other's presence. Now I feel like I need to talk to her directly. I want to break down this wall between us before it forces us apart for good. Hanako, what we did that night. How should I interpret that? Hanako stops playing with her hair and looks at me. Her head casts slightly downward. She looks ashamed. Which is probably a good mirror of how I would look now if I weren't so concerned. I thought you might eventually go away if I was only someone you needed to protect. Huh? I thought that if I let you do that, you might see me as someone more than that. My first reaction is disbelief, but I did do it with her after all. I had plenty of opportunities where I could have stopped things, stepped back and questioned what we were doing in the end for. I didn't. A horrible feeling rises in the pit of my stomach. Oh my god, my stomach. She offered herself to me because of what she thought I wanted, and now it feels like I took advantage of her. God damn it, she may have been willing, but on the other false premises. Oh my god! I've never been good at hiding my emotions from physically showing, and now it's no different. Hanako looks down once more, a strange mixture of depression, regret, sickness written on her face. Thick silence hangs in the air, save for the breeze blowing through the trees around us. I knew you couldn't look at me that way. Hanako's words are said in a little more than a whisper, seemingly directed just as much at herself as to me. In what way? What do you mean? All I ever was to you was a useless person. What? What? Just someone to protect. Someone like a child. I wanted to be more to you than that. But after so long, I got used to it. No! The tone of her voice is unlike any I've heard her use before. She sounds disgusted, not at me but at herself. After I came out of my room, I saw that you had started drifting away. I felt like I was going to lose you because you wanted somebody you could have that kind of relationship with. You were more quiet in school than before, and you were getting on so well with Yuko. I thought... Wait, what? No! No! Hanako, no! No! That I might lose you. Why do you speak of Yuko for? She thought I was bored of her because I wanted a romantic relationship. But we're friends, right? I wouldn't just abandon you like that, even if what you were saying was true. Friendship. I was something I thought I'd given up on. I stopped believing in others after what happened after the accident. Before the accident happened, I got on well with people and other children. I didn't have many friends, but I didn't mind because I treasured the ones that I had. Afterwards, though, I was called names by the others and teased a lot. It hurt, really deeply. Yeah, I still need the list of the names. The teachers tried to help, but they couldn't do much, and even many of them recoiled just at the sight of me. The name of the teachers, please, as well, by the way. Among those calling me names and teasing me were the ones that I thought were my closest friends. What the fuck? From then on, I believed that it didn't matter if nobody else acknowledged me. All my existence ever did was make people troubled after all. It was easier if I just didn't exist. But after meeting Lily and then you... I tried, but I couldn't make myself think that way again. All the time, she didn't trust me. She felt just like everyone else in her life, that she was worthless. Someone to throw away once I got bored of being with her. That hurts. That's one kind of person I never ever want to be seen as, because I know better than most just how horrible it feels to be thrown away by those who I thought liked me. She's cracking from the memories she's bringing up. I feel useless, completely unable to console her. In a strange way, for I'm almost thankful that she's allowing me to know this. The wall between us is going away, even if we hurt so badly to bring it down. Hanako, if you just told me. Was I wrong? Of course she wasn't. Hanako wasn't wrong. It's difficult to force myself to admit this, but I know trying to deny it is pointless. To me, and to Lee, she was someone we tried to protect. She had become to be what I became to my friends after my heart attack. A broken person. I liked her, possibly even loved her, but I never acted on that precisely because I thought she was so fragile. I mean, I don't look at you that way now. I got worried about you after what happened to you in class, and I thought I should try to protect you. When you looked yourself in your room, I got afraid. I thought you would reject me, and it forced me to think a lot about different things. I wasn't rejecting you. She blurted it out with an almost scared tone to her voice. Take me off guard. She quickly becomes embarrassed by her outburst, before clenching her fists and working through what she wanted to say in her mind. I wouldn't ever do that. Not to you. Even if I was scared, even if I tried to push you away, you still tried to get closer to me. I locked myself away because I was just a burden to you, to Lily, to everyone. Every birthday was the same. Everyone doing their best to pretend that I mattered. Everyone pretending everything was alright for that one day of the year. I didn't want to exist, but they wouldn't let me. Even after meeting Lily, everything was the same. I was as useless as I'd always been, unable to do anything for her or for myself. I didn't want to be the same way to you. Lee and I were completely wrong. From what she said, everything we did for her, it would have only made her feel worse. Even what little I thought I had right about her was complete misjudgment. After you locked yourself in the room, I decided to try to work out my past as well, and sort of my future. I didn't know how to deal with the things I'd lost by coming to Yamaku, so I was trying to sort them out myself. I thought it would help us become better friends if I did that. Silence hangs in the air. I try to keep looking at her, but I can't. I feel really low, and though I want to apologize, I don't know how I possibly could. I hear her take a deep breath, and only look back to her after hearing her drop to her ground. What? The sound of her crying breaks my heart. I know I'm responsible for this, and I know that I can't do anything to help her. If Hanako feels ashamed, then I feel all the more so. I rush to her as tears continue to roll down her cheeks unabated, wrapping my arms around her. I don't care about how I must look anymore. I just want to be close to her right now. I'm sorry, Hisao. I've messed everything. It's fine. Everything is fine. I'm the one that should be sorry. I was meddling around behind your back, and I never told you anything. I can feel my grip tightening on Hanako as my vision blurs. I can't be bothered trying to hold back now. I have to force my words out as a lump begins to stick in my throat. To tell you the truth, Hanako, I was scared. For the first time since my heart attack, I was really scared. Hisao? I lost so much when I came to Yamaku. I was depending on you more than I ever thought I did. Even now, I still have the hole inside me. After losing my entire life, and everyone I know, the thought of losing you as well. But I'm just a useless. You are my friend, Hanako. You are... No. You are more than that. I love you, Hanako. I love you so much that the thought of losing you frightened me so much. Ah, this is bad. I'm letting all of this out. I can't myself to look at her face right now. I'm sorry, Hisao. I can't help feeling a bit happy for so long. That's what I've wanted to hear. The last of the floodgates breaks, the sound of her crying permeating the air as her body jerks against mine. We hold each other tightly. connected more closely than ever in our shared grief and our shared happiness. I don't know how things are going to be like after this. Right now, though, I don't care. There is no other person in the world that either of us could possibly share these memories and emotions with. Nobody. Nobody. After dropping the dirty can to the bin next to the bench, I take a seat beside Hanako. She puts away the handkerchief I gave her to clean her swab, which hasn't helped much. Then again, I doubt I look much more presentable. Even now, I feel emptied and a bit embarrassed after letting my emotions out in a public like that. It's not a bad sensation, though. I think Hanako feels the same way too. Have you calmed down a bit? Yes, thank you. For a while, we just sit and take our time before talking again to one another. We both need a little time to collect ourselves. The weather is nice at this time of the year. Yeah, it is. I close my eyes for a moment, relishing the feeling of the sun's heat and the cool breeze against my face. The weather really is nice today. Really, really nice. You know, I don't really want to go back to classes right now, do you? She shakes her head as she finishes wiping her eyes with her cuff. The small smile she gives is nice and is a reminder of how earnest it can be. Smiling for other people might be a completely normal everyday thing. For Hanako, she smiles so rarely and so sincerely that each and every time she does it, I feel a sense of relief and happiness. Yeah, absolutely understandable. I'm sorry for everything. It's okay. I think we both have it to be sorry for. I know that I'm too shy. I know you don't want me to be. I don't think I can. You can change, Hanako. I know that because even the time I've known you, you've already changed. To be honest, just being able to sit here and talk to you like this means that you've changed a lot since we first met. But I can't be like that for anyone else. I don't have any plans for after school ends either. Hanako's confidence begins to slide down again, but I think that now I can finally talk to her as a new pal. I can do it because I know that we're just the same in so many ways. Just give yourself time, and I think you'll be able to achieve what you want. No, I'm sure that you'll be able to do it. I can see you've been trying and I have faith in you. And you can depend on me if you feel like you need someone to support you, you know. But I can't ask that of you. You can. Because that's exactly what I'm asking of you. I'm going through the same thing, you know. It's called love. Huh? Hanako smiles before I get off the bench and dust myself off. She does the same in short measure. I'm kinda hungry. Want to grab something to eat? She nods vigorously. The way she's smiling. The way she's acting. Even just the general air she gives off. I feel as if this is the first time I see her genuinely happy. We both make our way into the street, walking beside each other. Hisao? I think I don't really understand you. I don't think I understand you either. I believe that's fine for. Yeah. There is not a single hint of despair in our voices. Not understanding each other is only natural. The walls we set up between ourselves couldn't possibly be broken down in a single day. Yeah, it's time. But that's fine, as long as we take it day by day and try to understand one another. I think everything will be okay. Hey, what was with that tick tick? I've noticed that look. Tick tick, tick tick. As we walk down the street, Hanako's eyes flick to my face and back to the street repeatedly. I noticed that. Is something on her mind? You look restless. She slows before stopping completely. When I turn to meet her, she takes a long, deep breath, looking at my face intently. This expression. I saw it once before on her face. Just once, when I accidentally surprised her in her room. I think I have something I need to give you. Huh? What is it? You don't need to be evasive about it. I want to give you this for a long, long time, but now that I need to, it's so embarrassing. Don't worry. I'll accept it, whatever it is. She gives a sweet, bashful smile before taking my shoulder in her hand. Then, please accept my first gift to you, Hisao. Hanako? A kiss, huh? And people like, ooh, look at that! So good! Okay. This was the best route so far, for sure. I have no doubts. Like, the one with Lily was great, but... I think we know who's my favorite girl. I don't think Emi or Rin can actually beat that in the end. Oh my god, so good. And I actually feel like, damn, do we have to play the neutral ending and the bad ending? Like, Hanako is so precious that she only deserves the good ending. And I'm like, ugh. I'm actually tempted to not play the others. God damn. Okay, is there anything happening afterwards? Also, I might be mistaken, but I think I've seen this, this graphics, let's say, that was shown at the very last scene. I would go to extras, but I know if I now go to extras, there will be visibility of picture that I can't really show you. Wait, can I? No, I can. This one is okay, I guess. No, it's not. Okay, page 4. Page 4 and we are set. No, we're not. Fuck. Okay, this picture. I think I've seen this picture. But at the same time, I feel like it's been different. I don't know why, but I kind of... After meeting Miki, basically, I feel like, wait, I've seen this girl before, and I think I've seen this... over here. So now I wonder. Hanako. Nope. That's not the one I saw before. Huh. Maybe I'm mistaken and I've seen the picture we see here as well. Well, what else, I guess. Oh my... Dang. I honestly don't know what to do now. Because I really don't want... I really don't want to see the normal or bad endings for her. Like, she truly is someone who deserves only the good end. Damn it! Anyway, I'll need to think this through properly. We'll probably play the other endings as well. Starting tomorrow, probably. We'll find out tomorrow as well. But yeah, I'll need to think this through properly. Even if I probably, as I said, end up playing all of those. Even though I really want Hanako to have just good ending. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. And I wish you a wonderful day. Bye bye.